Hi there, everyone. um, this is going to be a Mineta what if, but it's going to be more like what if Mineta was the weakest hero. And let's just say in this one, Mineta has some very bad anger problems that he's been holding back from ever releasing in this one. He doesn't really like what he does. And this is only going up to like the the USJ, and then everything else happens, a little bit. Well, yeah, the USJ happens, but everything else doesn't happen after that. Like they have to make sure everything's okay into the system, so schools like cancel for like a whole entire year, which basically gives enough time for this to ever happen for Mineta. But let's just say this though, before they announced it, during that day, Mineta was somewhat changed. Well, no, it's more like they canceled it like 2 weeks when the like 2 weeks after. So we're gonna take a place after USJ. Also, Mineta actually has a friend in this one that from his old school that was very good in well building technology and such. So his height is basically a lie. He's been, using a piece of technology that his friend made that basically makes him like shrink and injects him with like a serum that goes constantly through his from his legs all the way up to his bloodstream, and he's been doing it since middle school. So his friend dad also helped made it. So yeah, Mineta asked for that. He started realizing he was gonna be different in middle school and maybe high school, so he didn't want to like people to know. Also, he basically got in trouble multiple times. That's the reason why he acted the way he did for the first couple of times in like in the manga. I mean, not in the manga, in the anime. Like he wasn't a perv, and now he's different. After the USJ, he's just fed up with everyone already. And his mom also told him if he ever got into a fight again, they will send him away somewhere. And remember, he's 14 years old, everyone. Yeah, but he's not a perv in this one. He's really not. He basically kept on saying to himself, idiot, 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 stop freaking talking. Every time he said something really stupid or perverted. So he blamed himself. And this is what Mineta actually looks like. But, um, he's gonna be, basically, he's gonna keep the purple, he's gonna have, like, the hair like this, but it's gonna be a little bit different. Also, I was trying to look for basically a punk rock, a punk look for Mineta, like this picture, but just have like a punk look, and that was it. But hey, I couldn't find one. So basically I did not own this picture, not pay video, you know. Um. So yeah, got to mention that. I mentioned it now, but anyways. So yeah, basically Mineta is gonna be a weak hero. Like, he's gonna have that style. He ain't gonna fight with just. He's gonna have like weapons on him and such at all times. Also, he basically fights people on the streets and people in his classroom if needed. Also, he's gonna have that Todoroki, Bakugo, when he's angry, Deku's and Kirishima's personality all mixed into one. Really, that's who he really is. And I don't know, but I don't want to give Mineta a shit because I'm afraid people are gonna. I'm afraid it's just I'm gonna be like, get Hounded to say no, he doesn't deserve any. So, just in case, this may not have a ship. uh, uh, Finally, though. Anyways, so yeah, you guys tell me how you enjoyed it and such. This is gonna be posted, uploaded right after the whole entire Izuku have alchemy. So yeah. Anyways, let's get into this. What if this is what Mineta was like the weakest hero? Part 1. So, the day after the USJ, Mineta walks into class. He has this aura of like he's not caring no more. Like he walks in, he doesn't like acknowledge no one. Izuku and Denki were like his friends. Heck, Kirishima talked to him because of because of Denki, but they weren't really close. But he can tell that Mineta is different. So Mineta just goes to his seat and just sitting there. He has a book and he just reading it. And he doesn't even pay attention to the girls, which kind of shocks them a little bit. Momo, Araka, Suyu. But then he says, "Oh, yeah, I forgot." He says out loud, he says, "Suyu, I'm sorry about yesterday. But you didn't really have to drown me. You could have just asked me to apologize." And she goes, because you're basically, she says, "You're just being a perv." And he goes like, "Excuse me for having short arms." And, well, she goes, but then, Jiro does say, "So, wait, what?" He goes, "I have short arms." Like, he does say, like, the length of them, when his height also is a matter, too. So, it's like, he has a hard time hugging people. Then he thinks to himself, just because I'm using this freaking serum my friend and his dad always make for me, people find out how really tall I am, then yeah. I mean, he just says, "I just wanted to at least say sorry." And say, "You didn't have to drown me, but it was well deserved." And, Sue goes, "Oh, alright." Next walks, so Denki comes over and he just asks Mineta, "What you reading?" A lot, but Momo, Mina, Araka, Jiro, and Suyu just think to themselves probably something perverted or something. And he goes, some book that's basically a very good one. That's basically a chapter book that he says he's been waiting to read for a while now. And that was it. Like, he's basically had enough. He just got it yesterday. He had enough time to read it or even start it. So he wanted to start it now. And which, so basically, that kind of shocks the girls. And yeah, so, Aizawa comes in, and let's just say, Mineta actually answers questions to basically to the answers correctly, showing that he's very intelligent, which kind of shocks a lot of people. Including Bakugo was like, "What the heck? I thought that freaking grape was a loser." He basically says that out loud, as then Mineta just, like, kind of gets a little irritated, and everyone can see it, and then he just says, "I'm not gonna hit him, I'm not gonna hit him." He's mumbled that to himself, which, well, let's say, Kaminari and Jiro can hear this, which they're kind of shocked by that. So yeah, but, he just letting it go. Anyways, let's skip to like the lunch. This is where the main thing's gonna happen, the main part. So, Mineta's just walking by. He has his bag, and he just like hears two guys making fun of like Jiro and Suyu. Saying like, "Look at you two. Of course make you look like freaks and all that." And Mineta just like thinks to himself, "You know what? Freak this. Freak my record. Freak my parents. Freak everything. After this, I'm going home. I'm done." So basically, like, basically what happens is, Mineta just walking over. He's just walking casually. He takes off his bag, it was around his shoulder. So he just takes it, grabs it, and he just says, Hey, big guy. And the guy looks, he was like, huh? And then he just sees a bag coming at him out of nowhere. As Mineta just runs and jumps, grabs a freaking, like, the one that grapes on his head. As the bag does hit the guy, Mineta then, like, literally just slams that grape into the guy's head and kicks the other guy into the face. Which was so very surprising. Heck, he's still holding on as he's dragging the guy, down with the sticky grape, and smacks it right into the guy's like freaking like chest, like the grapes on the guy's chest. As it's like, what the? As Mineta then legit kicks the guy's back of the knee, has the guy like the guy's friend basically, which he kicked, fall down. As Mineta just starts grabbing his bag and just starts hitting them both with it. Like, it's like you kind of messed up, but hey, I mean, he's just saying, never make fun of my classmates. And that's it. Like, that's all he does. He even throws it back to the side, and he's just like grabbing the guy, which they're thinking, what the? And he just kind of drags them and just like to the glass. And he just smacks one of them into it. Well, the guy's friend basically into the glass, which it breaks. As they go like, and they're like on the second floor, which they're kind of freaking out over this. Both of them. He was like, if you ever tell anyone about this little incident, then when I come back for wherever I go, I'll come back and find you guys and beat the living, well, crap out of you. Got it? As they like, yes, yes. And then he said, now scram. As basically he does like have the ball like get off of them, and he just throws it, and it goes land right on a tree nearby. Well, he basically throws it so far that it actually goes to a tree that they don't like, no one will ever see. And he just walks over, grabs his bag, and he just looks at Jiro and Suyu, just says, "You're welcome. Never tell anyone about this, or anyone about this. Got it?" As they both just nod their heads and they just see Mineta just walking away. They both say like Jiro just says, "Was that Mineta? Like seriously, is that really Mineta?" Like Suyu says, "I don't know, but it's weird." And well, he's just walking away. He does have blood on him, which he goes to Nezu say, "Nezu, I'm leaving school." As he does see blood on Mineta, and he was like, "Mineta, what did you?" He goes, "You know my record. You know what I was about to do someday soon. It was just a matter of time, and I got fed up how I was being treated. So yeah, see ya." And he just leaves. He does not care. Like, Aizawa was informed. Even Aizawa tried to freaking come over and stop Mineta. And Mineta just tells him, "Move out of my way, Eraserhead. I don't care about your class anymore. I'm tired of you just letting those guys pick on me. And yet you still know about my problem with my anger issues. And you still don't even try to do anything? Like, what was my last time I ever got into a fight? Danazawa says, back in middle school, during the last day, you sent 13 people to the hospital with broken legs and arms. I mean, how? Your height, it doesn't make sense on how you was like, oh, easy. There was a bunch of stuff around me I could have used to hurt them, and I did. I mean, there was a metal pipe, there was a trash can, there was a brick. I mean, I even used my own belt. Well, actually, I used one of the guy's belts, and I may have almost killed him by accident. That was a good moment. I mean, they were picking on a friend of mine, and then they tried to fight me because I stood up. And well, they threw the first punch, and I still get it on my school record my regular record. Man, having been in juvie at one point, that was actually kind of fun. Which, as I would just think, Mineta, I get, he does say, Mineta, I get why you got tired of it, but why are you leaving? I was like, oh, well, you'll find out soon. But I told him not to tell. So, yeah, it didn't matter anyways. I knew I was just gonna leave. Tell class 1A, I say, see ya. And then he just walks out of school property. He's just walking all the way home. By the time he gets home, it's like 2 in the afternoon. Which his mom's saying, Mineta, why are you home? Like he just says, oh, got into a fight, defended two of my classmates. Heck, I already know I'm gonna get sent wherever else, like you always tell me. And hey, you forget that people pick on me. People, pick on the friends I have. I defend them. I get into fights. Oh, and yeah, and I still get busted or in trouble just because I fight without using my quirk, and I've sent about how many people to the hospital in my whole entire life? She goes, about 35 people. It was like, yeah. And yet, I defend people. And yet you still tell me I'm going to be sent over somewhere else. Thanks, Mom. And what she kind of realizes that, they were, the cops did told her about, like, even the school, saying he was defending himself and some friends of his. So she just thinks I'm a bad mother. So, she's walking up to Mineta's room, as then, she sees Mineta. He has his socks off and his shoes, as then he just goes, okay, before I have to change, I have to get out of these clothing before I rip them. She goes, what? So, basically, she sees, like, Mineta, she sees Mineta goes into the bathroom with another pair of clothing, like a whole different set, and then, like, basically, he comes out looking like this, which he does, like, have, I think, I'm just gonna say, he has, like, a couple scars, because he did get in some fight with some people that had weapons, like knives, so, yeah. So, she sees him just wearing, like, basically, no shirt, just, she sees scars on him, which she's kind of surprised by that, and then, like, he's taller, too. He's wearing different clothes, like, he puts on the shirt, it's black, it has, like, the sleeves are technically ripped, and it has, like, a skull on the front, and it's just, like, with, like, how can I say it, like, a red background to it, too. And then he goes, says, man, how long have I not, how long do I always have to wear these things? Like, he's just holding up, basically, the ankle bracelets, he calls them, and basically, he goes, the needles are a freaking pain in the butt when you have to put them in. Or even activate serum. Surprised there's no side effects. As he just says Darren, and then, like, Darren's, wait, Darren, just a friend, his friend Darren, he says, which his mom opens the door and goes, what do you mean, Darren? What did Darren have to do with this? As he goes, Mom? She goes, how are you this tall? How? Like, you're this, she's saying, like, you were this height, and then now you're this? Explain. And he goes, alright. So he just tells her, right around before I went to middle school that summer, I grew up. Remember that? She goes, yeah. And I just said, I just got hit by a growth quirk. And it was only, like, probably last, like, 5 days or so. That's because when I was starting to grow and such, I didn't want people to, start to hang out with me that were fake. So, Darren and his dad figured out a way how to make my growth stop as long as I had them on. As he's pointing to the ankle bracelets that are on the couch, which have, like, a serum, like, a tubing of serum and such, and then, like, a needle which injects him with it and circulates through his whole entire body, like, every 3 hours or so. No, every 5 hours. But she's just shocked by this. And he goes, like, yeah. So, basically, I'm not short. Second off, I'm way more different. And third, have you not noticed anything, Mom? She goes, what? He goes, like my room. Remember I was like, I had, like, a whole bunch of stuff in here. And it was, like, always messy because I had, like, some car parts or, like, even, like, just, like, a punching bag or so. She goes, yeah? Where is it? She asked. He goes, I moved it all to a warehouse I've been going to for the past couple of years. Heck, I even have my own guitar there. Like, I wanted him to have a guitar. So, I mean, he's just saying I'm learning how to play it, but the hands were too short. So, since I'm stopped going to school, I'm gonna be this way from now on. So I'm gonna get a new look, more like a punk, more to the punk look. She goes, what? He goes like, maybe punk rock. I don't know. I'm just done being the minute that's a pervert, as he says. Well, he said in quotes, and he goes like, so, anyways, he grabs his phone, he puts on some sunglasses and a jacket. Say, Mom. He just leaves. She goes, where are you going? He goes, oh, see, Derek and his dad giving them the ankle bracelets because I'm done. She goes, what about UA? He goes, talk to Nezu. I told him I was leaving. Which she does, and, she talks to him and saying about what happened to him and, like, how it was serum. And then, well, Nezu knew about this. He talked to Mineta, like, the first day of school. Mineta asked not to tell, like, just to tell Aizawa, even about the record that he has. That he wanted, at the middle school he kept secret, but not in high school. Which, he just said, asked to keep it a secret from his mom about the ankles. Ankle bracelets that puts in the serum that it injects him every 5 hours to keep him short. Which she was like, what? He goes, why? He goes, because I do not understand, Mineta. I can understand how short he was when he was, basically before he went to middle school. But then all of a sudden he grew up. I guess people who hurt him in middle school would have acted differently if they saw him, and he didn't want that. And she realized she somewhat hurt him too, so, she basically has a flashback of saying, like, how useless he is. And why can't he just stop, like, getting the fights all the time? Heck, you send, like, it was, like, one time, you send, like, 5 people into the hospital with basically a broken hand at one point. She didn't know what to do with him. And that wasn't the first time. Second time, she had enough of it, and she was just like, can send him off to a military school or something. She didn't know what to do, and just try to get him some help. So yeah, so Mineta just goes and Mineta's walking around, and he's not really paying attention to anything. So yeah, he's not paying attention to the people around him. He's just paying attention to where he's going. So yeah, anyways, his mom, does ask Nezu, is he expelled or something? And, Nezu says, no, he's not expelled. I mean, but we are gonna have a year off of school for the students here. But she goes, why? He goes, well, after attack, we realized that we need to update everything, and it's gonna take a year worth of it. So, he has time to, improve on his quirk and such, and do, well, everything over. A new beginning, you say, as Mineta's mom says, alright, thank you, Nezu. So yeah, so Mineta goes over to Derek's place. He gives back the, the ankle bracelets that injects the, serum every 5 hours to keep him short. He says, thanks. I don't need to get them refilled. I'm not, using them anymore. He goes, alright, but, so what changed? He was like, well, as he tells him how he was acting, in high school and being perverted, and it just got annoying to him. He basically hated it all the time. So yeah, he just gave up on that and started being himself, and right away he got into a fight. Not even 4 hour, it lasted, school started around 8 o'clock, so around lunch 12 something for him. He was walking back to class just so he can start getting early read before Aizawa got in there. And then he turned 2 freaking jerks talking to his classmates. And then he beat the living crap out of them, he says. Which Derek and his father was like, oh god, Mineta, why? He was like, felt good. Now if I can just hit that freaking extra Bakugo, I can easily beat him. But I have to get stronger. Let me be back in my warehouse. See you guys. And he just says see ya, and then he leaves. So he gets a text from his mom about like he's gonna be off from school for a whole entire year. So it's alright for him to stay home for the next 2 weeks because that's when they're doing it. Like 2 weeks later, they're like saying everyone's off, but your schoolwork is gonna be sent to you by mail. You just still have to complete it and stuff. He texts, "All right, mom, I'll be out until 7. All right." She goes, "All right, dear. Just come back home." So yeah, so he does. He gets to his warehouse. There's like a punching bag, a workout area. I go like, I knew I was gonna. It's good that I set this up right when I, started to do this serum stuff. Thank you, Derek and his father, for helping. As then all of a sudden he just starts working out. There's like a bench. Well, actually, with that bench press, they have that. He has like a punching bag. Heck, Derek even comes by later to basically fight, like train with him on his quirk and how he can fight with it and stuff. Which, it's pretty amazing that Mineta is like gonna be like doing this for a whole entire year. So, yeah. But let's just say Mineta in this is basically changing a whole lot. I know this is like the picture what you guys are gonna see, but Mineta, like his hair is gonna be like purple. I'm gonna really keep. I'm gonna keep it purple, but I also want to like have it change. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it purple. But he just gets like his whole entire wardrobe's changing. His uniform, like he has to go get a new uniform and stuff. He does, but like in his hero costume, he changes it completely. He doesn't have the cape no more. He doesn't like make it look like a freaking grape or anything anymore. So yeah, but it's still the hero costume. Like he basically. So we're basically doing a time skip. So basically, Mineta learned a whole lot about his quirk during this. Basically, like 5 months into his training, his whole entire body, and him being stronger and such. So yeah, so he learns that all by himself with his Derek, his father, and while his mom also he took his mom over to his training area, which even but I don't know if Mineta actually has a sister in this one, like in canon, but let's just say Mineta actually had a sister. And so basically Mineta, like, no, not sister, I mean like siblings. Well, let's say he had a sister, and she's basically, learning how to fight too. Which, even his mom learns a few, like, fighting techniques. So, yeah. She comes by, like, they come by every once in a while, and basically, like, Mineta's on the phone with Nezu. He goes, "Yo, Nezu, my mom gave the school number to the principal's office. Can I have my, my hero costume change?" And he was like, "What? Really?" He was like, "Yeah. I just want my hero costume changed a whole bunch. So you mind if I, come in and get a paper and, redesign it and such?" As Natsu was thinking to himself. I was like, huh, I'm interested to see what he'll, do. And so he allows it. So yeah, so he tells him he's gonna go, Derek and his father, and they say, "Alright, just come back later. And just come back afterwards. Just, we'll do. Just got some training to do, basically." And he just leaves. And so what happens is, about 20 minutes later, he gets over to UA. He goes all the way over to Nezu's office, and Nezu gives him a paper to design it. As what he does is, he gets rid of he gets rid of something. He gets rid of the cape. He technically changed the color, not the purple. He's basically even changing the whole gets rid of whatever that gray thing was. He gets rid of that, the yellow, clubs and everything else. He goes with black. It's gonna be basically Like the whole entire suit is going to be just to have weapons on him. Basically, weapons that could basically combined into something else. So basically, he can have two like metal poles. He can put them together, like turn them as in they'll turn into a pole, and there's like he can be able to just like swing it around and such and start hitting people, or he can always like have something on him basically to then like attack fight people. Like I said, weakest hero like Lebanon. He's basically his quirk. It's good for capture and such, but his body is he's technically weak. So that's what he's working on. He's working on improving everything else. So that's what I mean. So basically, he designs it to where it's basically a material that would be very easily adapt to the temperature, along with that it has a jacket. Plus, he'll have boots. He'll have boots that are basically reinforced, and that his kicks will be able, to basically hurt a lot more, and like they already have like what they can do with his like his quirk, so that way nothing will stick to his like suit and him. So yeah, like the whole entire suit like have that, and they use Mineta's hair, you know, for that to work. So he basically just says okay. I mean, so yeah. That's what I remembered. Like something to do with his hair, like his scalp. That so it doesn't stick. So he just says, "All right." So yeah, that's what happens. That the design is like I'm still going into more. Um, Basically it's not purple. It's basically the gloves are fingerless. Um, but his hand will never be able to stick to his. I mean, he basically won't like stick to anything anyways. So yeah, but anyways, yeah, words not working. The jacket has like multiple pockets for him. Well, he basically asks like them to have like two metal rods that can come together, and then it can be able to transform into some like what he needs. Which he does know Derek's father does work on stuff like this, and he has been improving on it and such. Also, he wants the mask to have be able to scan through like walls and human like say like Batman Arkham Knight, scanner. Like it's able to like go through walls and like see what's around, like what he's able to use as like to like help people or attack people, with. So yeah, say like a trash can, he was able to use it and such. And plus, he's been training in martial arts to say more like mixed martial arts. So he's been training in that. Which Nezu, sees the costume. He sees that the mask it covers his face. It has something that covers his face, and that it goes over his eyes too. It doesn't show much of his face, anyways. It does like his basically the grapes on his head still will be, you know. Well, I mean, he doesn't like his hair like will still be there and stuff, but he also has like it to actually like change everything around. Like he does like put that in. Like if he talks to like Derek's father, they can work on something with the suit to actually adapt to the surroundings, to change different things, so that way we'll be actually able to capture villains if they don't, so that way they don't see anything. So which that is impressive to Nezu, and he goes like, Mineta, why didn't you ever, try it this way? He was like, first off, you know about the serum, right? So he was like, that's the reason why. Second off, people would just find it really weird, I think. But right now, I don't think so. And what about, and then he had asked, what about the boots? He was like, oh, those have reinforcements on it, basically to be reinforced and a little bit more heavier than usual. So that way when I kick someone in the face, it does a lot more damage. As he has an innocent smile on his face, which Nezu finds kind of terrifying. And so, yeah. And then, like, after that, after, Nezu reads everything he says about it's, if your friend's father, Derek's, basically Derek's father will, work on it, then it might not be that much money, to cost anything. He goes like, All right, thanks. And Derek's father is, a quirk. I forgot what those are. Now support course, was in the support course of UA, and helped out, So, Nezu calls while Mineta's there, and as Derek's father says, of course. So he says, as soon as Mineta gets there, we'll start working on it right away. And Nezu says, "Now I'll just give Mineta the paper and such, and you guys can work on it." He says, "Thanks." So yeah, so that's what happens. So Mineta tells Nezu, "See you around," and tell Mr. Aizawa I said sorry about what I did a couple of months ago. Then pops in Aizawa. He goes, "Oh, hello there. Who are?" He sees the purple hair. He's like, "Mineta." He goes, "Yes, that's my name. Don't wear it out." He was like, "Wow, you're he's taller." He was like, "I've always been tall. I just hit it." He goes, "Why?" He goes, I felt like it, and two, people would treat me way more different. I mean, everyone thought I was just a freaking parasite, so I mean, if I got tall, people would start, talking to me and basically sucking up to me. So, what was the point? Which, as I always think so, that kind of makes some sense. That makes some sense. So yeah, and he says, "Well, see ya." So yeah, he just leaves. Aizawa just tells Nezu when he basically he asked Nezu, "Were you thinking the same thing I was thinking when you saw him?" He was like, "Yes." But that is very different. Very more violent, actually. You're used to seeing the modifications he wanted to done to the boots that he wanted, which basically, as always says, uh, what about boots? He was like, well, Mineta's boots are gonna be heavier than normal ones, and they're gonna be a lot more dangerous when it comes to kicking someone. So, I will not feel any sympathy for the villains, but I will wish them luck on getting that repaired, whatever part is broken. And then Aizawa just has a feeling. He says, problem child number 2 is gonna give me problems even more next year. Ugh, more paperwork. As Nezu laughs and says, yes. And I feel like he's gonna cause a lot of trouble for the students in Class 1A. And yeah, so basically Nezu gets back to the warehouse that he was training in. Derek understands what's gonna happen, so they ask to see the paper and such, which they're surprised about how he asked for, like, this the technology put into it. Basically, about the 2 pieces of metal that were able to, to go into one to make a staff, and then they can even change into some other stuff too. And that would be very useful for Mineta, he says. Heck, he can even use his quirk to basically lift it too, which they do actually say that it's useful. So yeah. So Mineta, just goes with them, and they start working on it. They go back to Derek's father's lab. They start working on it, and he asks them to test it out and such. So Mineta's costume is technically how can I say it? The purple part, it's technically black. It has also a mixture of, well, Mineta's favorite colors were technically black, red, and, well, yellow, along with green. He liked those colors, so they incorporated that into the costume. And, it gives it a weird, basically they did a design that's basically Mineta's, when Mineta was he basically he basically liked rock music, any type of music he would listen to when just try to calm himself down. He even has a crow on the jacket that they have, and basically because he read he basically like read stuff about crows and he always find them interesting. That was his favorite animal in this version and such. And well, heck, it basically like they even put like extra things into the gloves. Well, the fingerless gloves, like it has like more of a like when he punches somebody, it have more of an impact on them. So yeah, and basically, how can I say this? Like it's like Spider-Man suit. Like he basically hit the long sleeve shirt and the gloves like all come off as like different parts. So it's long sleeve, like the glove part, they come off like that, and then with the basically the long sleeve shirt comes off like that too. So yeah, so that's what I mean. It's like cut off in different sections, and he even has like some. Well, Derek's father, says to it. So, how about this? How about we also give you a kind of like a utility belt? He was like, huh? He was, yeah. Since technically, I thought it'd be a good idea since you're technically want weapons with this. So why not? It was like, have something to actually help you with using your quirk with a little bit more efficiency. He was like, okay. Like what? So basically, he says, well, we could have something stick to your, one of the grapes on your head. As he asks Mineta to take one off, as he does, and then he attaches well, it's kind of like he was, basically this is like a test in progress. Basically, he's almost done with it, but he wants Mineta to test it. Basically, he puts on this little, like, round of, like, basically it's like the size of a not a golf ball, the size of a baseball on it, and then he like basically like no yeah golf ball. He puts it on the ball, and then the grape I mean, and then like he places it down, and then they have like a moving target goes near it, and then when it explodes, it has a fast acting like something to stick just like one of his like grapes on his head, but it's like well how can I say this? It sticks to the person or group of people, have them stick together, and then it'll harden to stop them. Which he goes like, huh? So you're talking about have me have more of a trap, have stuff as traps and everything. It's like yes. He goes like, all right. So he even like get actually like he puts it in like what you would see as Batman, but he gives it like smoke screens. Like he actually has the mask on the suit to actually, I mean, but not suit, on the costume to actually have a filter, so that way if it's like he's able to go through stuff. Heck, they even like put in, like they actually do that X-ray like I told you, like Batman's like he can see through like walls and people to see the skeletons and such, and like he can tell like where the objects are and everything. So yeah, they able to build that. He has like I said, smoke screen, sticky, like motion sensor, sticky grenade. Wait, not grenade. Sticky bomb. Yeah, I think it's called a sticky bomb because it's basically it goes off like a bomb, but it has something that stick to them. So yeah, and then it's like stun. Like everything's non-lethal. Like nothing will be lethal. So basically, there's even ones with stun, knockout gas, and he can use this all of his quirk, which well, was the point. He can attach everything to basically he can throw it. Like he can attach it to his like one of the grapes on his head. He can then throw it. It hits a wall or it goes near a door. As soon as like somebody freaking goes by it, then next thing you know, like they'll go off and it can knock out people. So he has it like long range and it's like very amazing. Like that's what I think. So that's what I was thinking of. So, but that's if he's gonna go for stealth, which I'm kind of making him do also. Like he's gonna be the weakest hero. Have the vibe of that, but stealth properties I'm adding that into with him if necessary. But yeah, so anyways, so basically after that, that took like a couple of like 2 months also. So basically 7 months now, and he's been training. He looks totally different. He's basically he's gotten a lot stronger. He does have muscles now. So and plus he got a little bit taller too. This he's his hair, like like in canon, you know, basically Mineta hair turned into this, but then he got that like a little bit of a haircut, but it's still like it still has like the I don't because it's I don't think it matters like if it's like clumped up because he can just take a piece of his hair, like a ball shape, and then it'll grow back. So yeah, um, it's I had the story all planned out, but now I'm saying it out loud. It's like all jumbled up. Man, that's weird. But anyways, so yeah, so basically he's getting more trained. He's doing like that was like 7, so training. Um, he stops though and says, "All right, it's almost the end of the year. How about I just go out and have some fun?" So yeah, that's what he does. He goes out like for the next couple of months, and he's starting to notice a lot of people are looking at him. Not like the way they used to ignore him, but he's looking way different now. He's clothing like basically he's mostly wearing boots, like what you will see like a punk wear, yeah, the punk look. So yeah, he's just mostly doing that, and he just listened to some music on the just walking over to a arcade, and along the way he sees Momo Yadarozu, and he goes, "Huh, oh Momo, I don't care." And then she sees a guy that's hitting on her. Well, actually, well, the guy that's hitting on her. Then the bodyguards get in there. Then the guy uses the quirks and hurts the bodyguard, which Momo doesn't do anything. Well, no, you're gonna activate her creation quirk to create some handcuffs and try to stop the guy from hurting her bodyguard anymore. But Mineta just decides, oh well, let's do this. And he's just walking over very casual. And next a group of guys come, which Momo just creates a staff then. And he goes, basically Mineta just says, let's see, what do I have around? And then he just sees well, let's just say like a sign. And he goes, perfect. And he just grabs it. And he just like going over. He has like his sunglasses on. He takes them off, put them inside his like jacket pocket. And he just has this like, he just has a look like, I was having such a good day, but now I'm angry. Let's see if I can crack some heads. As then he does crack in the neck a little. And then he goes, oi, extras! And they're like, what? And she thinks Bakugo, but then she goes, well, the voices. And then, well, one of the 5 guys just sees a sign coming out of nowhere, just hitting him. And he goes sent flying to, Momo's, like, well, bodyguard's car. No, like, her limousine. And then the girl goes, what the? And then he just gets hit by the sign, too. As, well, the guys are going like, wait, what's going on? Like, as they just see, well, Mineta, he was like, oh yeah, I forgot about the haircut. He did get like cut a little bit shorter, but the grapes on, well, not shorter. I mean, he got cut to be way more different. You guys can think of a design. I know I'm not good with it, but haircut design. So yeah. So hold on. Okay, that literally kind of made me jump a little bit. That was just something about my phone. But anyways, he took out 2 guys he sent 2 guys flying very easily, and he just holding the sign like by the legs and just right on his shoulder. He was like, you guys picking on a girl, just trying to hang out for a right." And a group of people, how annoying are you guys? And then he's like, what the? He goes, look, I was trying to have a good day, and this was on my way to the arcade. So can you guys please just shove off and leave her alone? She goes, who are you? I was like, basically just says, no one important. Now, get out of the way before I decide to basically break your arms and legs. As he says with a little grin. Well, actually he says with a smile on his face. Which are like, you? How? He was like, oh, I don't know. I got a sign in my hand. I already got two of you guys on the ground, which are about to come up real quick. And, well, that's it. Just a sign. And with your quirks, I don't care. They're gonna go down anyways. Which the guys just say, freak off, you! You know, as one of them, like, rush him, and Mineta he just uses a sign to block. When he hits it, you know, the guy, he basically hurts his hand, but Mineta pushes on it, and then he basically, while the guy's falling, Mineta, like, does grab the guy's leg, throws him up into the air, and when the guy does, like, fall down, he does, like, then stomp on the guy's face, like, 2 times, and which that kind of, like, terrifies a little bit of them, but he's not done. And then he rushes towards one, and the guy does, the fourth guy does try to, like, throw a punch, and it dodges underneath, then he goes for, like, the arm and the head, and then slam that guy down, and then, you know, and then just, then, like, does, like, a drop of his elbow right to the guy's gut. And then I did that. One of the guys does come up. The guy that was, like, hit the sign into the car gets up and tries to hit Mineta, but he gets out of the way, and so that way he gets up. And he's noticed that there's, like, some rocks, as then he grabs that guy that tried to kick him, then run over to him, and then he just throws it into the guy's eyes, and then he goes, "God, my eyes!" As well, Mineta does hit the guy right and uppercut him, send him flying basically into another guy, which surprised Momo. I'm not saying, you know, Mineta has super strength. These guys' quirks are basically, like, weak. Like, I'm just gonna say one has a bubble quirk that doesn't do nothing. Another one just has, like, growing out his fingers. Yeah, that guy. And another guy just basically has, like, a somewhat of a hardened quirk. He's, like, he doesn't work on it, though. And, well, another one basically has a mutation quirk where he just has horns. So, yeah, I think that's 5 of them. So, yeah. So, they really aren't doing much, as the guy with the horns does run after Mineta. As Mineta just grabs him and just knees the guy in the face and then just and even slam the guy, actually slam the guy into the nerd, basically one of his friends, and then he does, like, go over to a wall and basically slams his face into it, even breaking off a horn. Which, well, you know, Momo is just, like, getting shot by this. She's thinking, this is kind of somewhat brutal. And he just says, that felt great. Now then, as, you know, the guy that was, like, hit with the sign to the, you know, away from the car watched this all and was, like, he's the one with the bubbles, as he's just, like, terrified. As Mineta does walk over to him, just glaring at him and looking like he's angry, as he just says, "So, you guys really want to bug this girl now? Or about to beat you and, you know, knock some sense into you, buddy?" He was like, no, I'll leave. As, you know, he says, "No, don't leave. Grab your friends and run. It's way more fun to see you extras do that." And he's like, "Right, okay." As, you know, he does get his friends and they do go away, which he looks at Momo and says, "You alright?" She goes, "Yeah." You? He was like, "Eh." It was just a normal Monday to me. She goes, "Well," he was like, "Yeah, that was." Anyways, so yeah, as he basically takes the sunglasses out of his, like, pocket of his jacket and start walking. He just thinks to himself, should I have told her on Momo? Should I have told Momo that, you know, Mineta? She probably wouldn't believe me and thinks I'm just some other guy that named Mineta. And, yeah. You know, Momo's, you know, just thinking, what the heck? Like, who the heck is that guy? Like, Jiro and Suyu did tell Momo about what Mineta did, and then he just, like, left school, which surprised Araka, Suyu, you know, and basically Mina. That surprised, like, all 3 of the girls. So, yeah. So basically, though, while at the arcade, you know, when he arrives, he sees Suyu, Jiro, Uraka, Mina. And he goes, huh, I guess Momo was getting them presents or snacks or something to hang out. I don't know. So he goes over, and then he goes over to her just like a normal like fighting game that they have, and like he just puts in a couple of coins in and just starts playing it. I don't know how. I think like 100 yen. So like he basically like just starts playing it. And he just thinks to himself, "I'm rusty. Just another couple of days. Just need to play this for a couple of hours, and I'm good then." And then he just starts playing it. So Mineta does like love to read, and that's what he did most of the time when he was a kid. He read a lot, and basically what happens is like he's just rusty, but he like the same person. He just starts like find this person, and they're just getting wrecked. Like Mineta just winning. He was like, huh. Well, I mean, it's been like a while since I played this game, but hey, it's good. It's just like the manual book with every, that he read all of it and even memorized the inputs of it, of the techniques for the character he plays, which he mained. So yeah, and then he hears like a girl like basically this is Mina just saying no, whoever is this guy beating me, and he's just thinking, oh crud, Mina, just don't you know just don't show your face. So yeah, um, Momo did arrive, and she basically went to the girls as Araka, Tsuyu, and Jiro were playing something else, but Mina was playing the fighting game. As when she did say that, they did came over and asked what's wrong. She goes, oh, like someone else who's on the other side of this game, who's fighting me. They're just really good. I mean, I couldn't even lay one hit on them. And well, it does say continue. Basically, you know, Mineta says yes and everything, which Mina does too. She puts in like 100 yen along with Mineta, and so they fight again. So about 3 to 4 times, she lost. He couldn't, she couldn't even lay one hit on him. And then he just says, I'm gonna go. That's it. So basically he gets up and just walks away. Um and well, Momo did see some purple hair. Just like the guide did too, like, that saved her. So it was like she's like, did he said he's going to the arcade, but no, it couldn't be him. Like, wait, no. That yeah. And she says that, and then she does like go over and just says, "It's you," and he's like, "Crud, didn't leave fast enough." And Momo does come over, basically which Araka, Mina, Jiro, and Tsuyu do come over too, and basically Araka, just says, "Momo, do you know him?" Basically, she says, "Yeah, he helped me with some like guys who were about flirting with me when one guy was, and then other guys joined in as soon as the other guy took down my bodyguard. Kind of a cheap tactic. My bodyguard was quirkless though, but still, it was kind of a cheap tactic that they did, which was very not fair to him. But he was all right thanks to him. And he goes, "Hey, all I did was just take a sign, start beating up some guys, and that was it. Don't thank me." As he smiles, and well, it's kind of like like it's basically would do something, but he's not getting like a full on smile, just like a little smile. And Mo says, "No, you did you did enough. Thank you." He goes like, shouldn't like the cops be around? I mean, I left the scene, and then they. He goes, "No, I tied them up and called the cops and told them the situation beforehand, and they're probably picking them up right now." He was like, "All right, so, um, I'm just heading out now. I just came here to just play a little bit of games, and that's it. I'm heading home. So, see you, girls." He's just walking away. He's thinking, "Okay, okay, just leave, just leave. Don't do nothing. Just leave." Which, Mina, does grab his arm, and she goes, "Well, why are you leaving so quickly?" He's like, well, I'm bored now, and I'm just gonna go home and read. That's it." She goes, "Why? You like reading so much?" He goes like, "Yeah, actually, it's very calming." And then I need to actually buy a book on the way home, which I know a bookstore nearby, so I'm going there next actually. Which that kind of like surprises, Mina. She doesn't know why though, and he was like, "So can you let go of me, please?" She goes, "All right, fine, as long as you tell us your name." Is like, that's gonna be a problem. He thinks. So he does notice something though that cuts his attention, and he goes, "What the freak is that?" And he basically it caught his attention. It was just some kid doing something really weird, which the other girls did look. And while like Mino, like has his arm, he does like pull away real quick, just starts running out. Like he's not like he doesn't want to talk to them. He wants to keep himself surprised, for everyone else. So yeah, basically, which Mino was like, "What the heck?" But that is a lot more faster in this one. So yeah. Hey, actually, he goes around the corner and just starts using the grapes on his head. Just starts, well, he's basically using his hair to like cover them too, but he's able to grab them and then he just basically goes up onto the walls, up on the wall basically. Which no, he basically like throws one onto the wall. He jumps up and then basically he throws. I mean, but he basically bounces off of it. He does throw another ball. He bounces off of that and such. He goes all the way up to the building. He goes like, "Okay, they probably won't notice I'm here." But he does say, "I do have to try to figure out a way how to get rid of those, though." Great. That's going to be a problem. But anyways, he says, "I'll work on that later." And he just runs it right across the building tops. And what happens next is that, Momo and Suyu and Jiro did find them. The balls that were on the walls, as they think, did he? No, wait. Isn't that the same color as Meneta's? Like, they recognize that he was like, could he have been Mineta? And Jiro said, well, actually, like Momo says, no, couldn't be. Could it? I mean, how did he get that tall? It's only been like 8.5, like 8 months, but he's gonna change that quickly in a year, right? Almost a year. Which Jiro just says a lot could happen in a year. Maybe he did. And which then Momo says, then why didn't he say anything to us that was what he usually would have done, being a perv? And well, Jiro just sighs along with Suyu. So yeah, and they tell Uraraka Amina about this, and Mina just thinks, so if that was Mineta, then as she goes, I need to cleanse my hand, like wash my hand off. It's though Momo just says he saved me. He didn't ask for anything in return that he would have then, and he tried to leave as soon as he found out it was us. Is he trying to avoid us or something now? Which Suyu, Jiro, and Uraraka and Mina, don't even know if it's true or not. Which Uraraka says, who cares? He's just worthless anyways. And yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot, Izuku and Denki, I mean, yeah, Denki have known, even Kirishima, they do know about him, like his whole entire like thing change. It's just he's texting them while he's running on the rooftops, saying that he wants to meet up. And he gives them a location to the bookstore. So yeah, they all meet up at the bookstore. He was like, "Yo, guys, what's up?" As soon as like he actually had to jump onto a fire escape and go all the way down, and then be able to like land into like some trash that was there. They're like, it's basically Kirishima, Denki, Zuku see him. They're like, "Yo, Mineta, you changed." And he was like, "I've always been this way." He was like, "What do you mean?" He was, I think he explains the serum that he always like was taking, like in the ankle bracelets that he wore, which they were like, "So you had your growth stopped on purpose?" I was like, "Yep." And you really look like this. He goes, "Yeah, I just have my hair cut different. Like some of it's covering, the grapes on my head. So, yeah, it's it's actually really pretty good and stuff. Just, dude, if you were never a freaking as Mineta's just looking for, like, to the side as he see a cop that he knows. As the cop walks over, he goes, "Mineta, how have you been?" He was like, "Hey, officer, let's say Sasuke, Officer Sasuke, how have you been?" He was like, "Good, haven't seen you since that incident back like a year ago, right?" He was like, "Yeah." "How are the guys that I sent to to the hospital?" Like, "Oh, they're all good. I mean, you're lucky they want no charges." Like, well, I mean, it was stacked against them. I mean, they picked on my friend. He was bullied, and then like they hit me. There was a little bit of blood, so I mean, if they wanted to, they would have lost, and I would have gotten everything they were trying to sue me for. Which he laughs about that. He goes, "True." Which Kirishima, Denki, and Izuku just say, "Wait, what?" Mineta, what? He was like, "Oh yeah, I have a record." And which he smiles at this, which they're like, "What do you mean?" Is he just says, "I have a record, extras. Get with the times." He says, "What?" As Officer Sasuke says, "Yes, actually. Mineta here was actually quite a troublemaker back in middle school and intermediate school. He got into a lot of fights, but only ever two could have like put on record." Which Kirishima was like, "Bro, really?" He was like, "Yeah, bro. I'm not lying." He was like, which Kaminari, well, Denki says, "Well, he never told us." He goes like, "That was something I was trying to leave behind. Also, my anger issues give me a problem. So, you know how hard it was not to try and literally grab my chair and beat Bakugo with it? Jeez, it was really hard." Which Midoriya just says, "So, you mean to tell me you were short still in middle school, and yet you sent people to the hospital?" He goes like, "Yeah, you give me a freaking pipe, you know, or a chair, anything really, I could use it as a weapon and protect myself or harm people." So yeah, which that kind of does, make Midoriya think. So, so basically then, he thinks about why Mineta was being, the way he was, like, perv for those, first couple, like, I'm gonna say it was like 2 months he was a perv for, and then like the USJ attack. So yeah, he was like, "So that's why you were being a perv, huh?" I was like, "Yeah." I mean, I was trying not to have anyone realize what I really was like. I was trying to like put on a disguise, but then that got annoying real quick, so I stopped it after the USJ. Heck, so you actually drowned me. You didn't, you didn't say nothing until you realized it. Which he says, sorry. I was like, "Yeah, I do owe you a punch in the face for that. You know that, right?" Which Deku says, "What? What?" And Kirishima like basically, Denki just thinking, "Yo, Mineta was never this open. I, we shouldn't piss him off. No, we should never." Which Officer Officer Sasuke says, now. I mean, you did like say you were when you get into high school, you were gonna put on a different thing, and well, you're a teenager, so it is understandable the way you were like acting. I was like, "Yeah, but I really was." It's like almost anything came out of my mouth was like something like criticizing others or something, and then like being a jerk and then being scared all the time, acting. Oh my god, that took way too much energy out of me. And then, well, basically, um, Mineta basically, tells them the truth. Like, "Oh yeah, right now, I'm probably, I'm not gonna be stronger than Izuku, but probably stronger than you, Denki." He was like, "Really?" He was like, "And what, physical strength? Also, pretty smarter than you too. I'm actually kind of smarter than you." Which Denki was like, "No way." He was like, "Yeah, I am." I just kind of didn't. I don't like to show it much. So, anyways, let's go into the bookstore and find some books. Which he says bye to Officer Sasuke, and they go into the bookstore. And yeah, Amina finds a couple of books he wanted, and so along with Suzuku. So yeah, he says bye to them and says like, "Let's catch up again." Which they do. Mineta does train for a little bit for the next couple of weeks, and then he hangs with Izuku, Denki, and Kirishima. He doesn't meet Momo. Suyu, Uraka, or Mina. Again, he doesn't go to the game. I mean, to the arcade. He goes around places, other places when he doesn't ever meet them, and so like no one ever like sees him. And then it's a day to come back to school, and which he does. He goes back to school, and right when he walks into class, like there's Bakugo, Araka, Mina, Suyu, Jiro, Todoroki. I think I said Momo. Or say Momo again just in case. And Deku. I think Kirishima already said too. But yeah. Oh yeah, Tokiyami too. And Ojiro. Those guys are there. Like all of them are there. As he walks in, which surprise Mina, Araka, Jiro, and Suyu. Ida doesn't know who this guy is, and he was like, "Who are you?" It was like even Bakugo says, "Hey, extra," as in Mineta says, "Hey, how about you, extra? Shut it." Jeez, you think you're better than everyone else? Just shut it already. I'm tired of hearing all the freaking stuff that comes out of your mouth. And honestly, leave Izuku alone already. Just because you have some problems with your ego doesn't mean anything. Seriously, Bakugo, anyone can beat you if they actually tried hard enough. Heck, I can beat you pretty easily. Which Bakugo says, "You wanna go? You he goes, grape? Yeah, he goes, you grape? He was like, what do you mean grape? As in, Mineta just takes off one of the balls, one of the grapes on his head, balls basically, and just throws it at Bakugo's mouth, which actually face him, which it hits him in his face basically. I mean, he's trying to like grab it and like rip it off, he can't, and Mineta just smile at this. He goes like, the angry Pomeranian has been silenced. And Izuku actually laughs at this along with Kirishima and Denki. And the girls are shocked by this along with Todoroki and, well, Ojiro. Ida's like surprised. And he like looks behind the desk to see if Aizawa's there. And he does. He was like, "Yo, Aizawa, what's up?" Like, I know I said he was gonna like he is still the weakest hero. He still is like the weakest hero, but I'm making his personality be more different. So I hope you guys enjoyed that though. So yeah, so as gets up out of the sleeping bag, he goes like, Mineta, glad to see you again. He's like, same here. Miss me? He was like, is that a question? He was like, no. I already know you didn't, so let's just get on with this. And he just says, can I change seats too? He's like, why? He was like, I want to have a window seat all the way in the back. Which, he doesn't see no one there, so he just sits there, puts his stuff there, and he just gets out a book. But basically what happens is Kaminari, Kirishima, and Deku change their seats to go into Mineta. So basically, yeah, they're just like having that, which the girls are looking at him like, what? No, this cannot be Mineta. This cannot be Mineta. And basically he looks at them and he's like, can you girls stop staring at me, please? It's kind of awkward. And they go like, huh? I thought you would. He goes like, yeah, no, I did not change my ways for you girls. Actually, no, wait. I actually was this person already. I just tried to change myself. And you're like, then why were you being a pervy? I was like, as I would tell them, as basically says, all right, I'm gonna have to have Nezu come in here with his files. And they go, wait, what? He goes, oh god, the file, don't tell me. It was like 45 pages long. I was like, yes, actually, like, even though you only have 2 fighting on your record, even on civilian, there were cases of the same instances that you have did that we found out over the year. He was like, hey, it's not that bad, right? I mean, I didn't kill no one. I mean, they were all just broken bones and bruises. He was like, to the point where they had to get medical treatment to basically be fixed and have a broken nose and bleeding. Yeah, which everyone was kind of shocked by this. but not Kirishima, Zuko, or Denki. So yeah, he calls up Nezu. Nezu comes in with Mineta's like folder, which is like 45 pages, and he just goes over every instant, which many people are surprised. Heck, there actually was a game fight he was in, and he basically it was like a game rivalry that was happening, but like Mineta kind of like took down like the game leader, basically just decided to go after the game leader himself. And well, what happened to him was he had a broken rib. He had multiple bruises on him. There was actually a brick that was found at the scene, and well, it looked like someone wrapped something around his eyes and started to even use the ground to beat him, like smash the guy's face in. And heck, he basically used something to hit the guy or kick the guy in that caused a broken rib. And well, hand was technically broken too. So yeah, which everyone's shocked by this. Manila just says, "Yeah, that was a good time." I had one of my female friends that was living near there. Well, technically not really a friend of my friends that lived near that, that game's location, and I heard about the game fight, and I just said, I'm just gonna get this over and done with. And I went there and in the middle of the night, and I did that. And as I was just says, so wait, how many were there like any civilians? Yeah, there was like a lot of people that were hurt, but yeah, I mean, I didn't use my quirk. I just used random objects I found on him. Yeah, but I did have to get rid of that scarf I had. Oh well. Which the girls are shocked by this. A lot of people who came in and saw this big giant folder stacked with like 45 pages. Like the only reason why he's not being charged is because most of his stuff was actually helping people out and getting the guy captured. He was not even a vigilante working. Like, just some guy called the cop. Like, he literally called the cops and says he saw some guy beat up a guy and he's badly bruised. And, well, as soon as they found out who it was, they arrested the people. That was it. Which surprises them. So, yeah. Anyways. And everyone just looking at Mineta and he's just just reading a book again. Just like he was before he left school. Just reading a book. And then he looks up and goes like, oh, center of attention? Yeah, don't really want it. Look at the board and don't look at me, please. He's just about to read the book. That's it. Like, and that's where I'm ending it off. I hope you guys enjoy it. I made Mineta way different. Hope you guys like that. So yeah, like I said, I'm kind of mixing the personalities together. He's like the coldness I'm doing when he's basically not in the mood to talk to anyone, but the Zuko part, like the personality wise, is like he's the most I've been doing is like a Zuko. But then he's been showing like the Kirishima when I said like bro, and like that was like Kirishima. Then like the Bakugo thing was like when he's like fighting and angry. So yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Next up is well, I'm definitely gonna be making the alchemy one next. So yeah, bye everyone.